We are back. Time for the Politics Fix with Michelle Bernard, president of Independent Women's Voice and an MSNBC political analyst, and the Rolling Stones' Matt Taibbi, whose latest story, The Truth About the Bailout, is in the current issue of that fabulous magazine, The Rolling Stone. Well, I can't resist this when I heard about this. Here's U.S. Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann, another Michelle, back in October on Hardball, and this week on Sean Hannity's radio show. Here she is, sort of continuing in this vein, very fearful vein. She believes she's surrounded by dangerous people in Washington.
I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America? I think people would love to see an expose like that.
We are headed down the lane of economic Marxism as more quickly, Sean, than anyone could have possibly imagined. It's difficult for us to even keep up with it day to day. Right now, I'm a member of Congress, and I believe that my job here is to be a foreign correspondent reporting from enemy lines.
A foreign correspondent behind enemy lines. That's how she sees herself, Matt Taibbi. This person representing, I guess, an interesting district out in Minnesota with an interesting concern, which is fear of the enemy that surrounds us.
Sorry, what?
Did you miss all that, Matt? Dare I repeat it?
No, if you could just repeat the question, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What do you make of Michelle Bachmann's concern that she's surrounded by the enemy, that in fact she believes again that there ought to be an investigation of the people who serve with us for their anti-American views, to the point that she feels like a Mata Hari, she feels like a foreign correspondent amidst an enemy camp.
It's funny, this morning outside of Penn Station, I saw a guy huffing glue out of a paper bag, and he was making more sense than Michelle Bachmann was making. I can't believe you need to pass a written test to drive a car in this country, but I bet this woman can't even write her name in the ground with a stick. I mean, it's just, it's unbelievable to me that this person is in the Congress.
You've now set up Michelle Bernard to look reasonable here. Go ahead. What do you make of it? She also said that she's introducing legislation. It's in a press release yesterday actually. She's going to introduce legislation, I think she already has, to make sure that nobody tries to replace the dollar in America, that we're going to stick to our currency, because she heard somewhere out there, this is like Rosanna Dana, up on Saturday Night Live years ago, she's heard that there might be a different standard of currency out in the world. There's a basis for a reserve currency in the world, like sterling, the dollar, the euro, something else. And in hearing that conversation, she's become concerned that somebody's going to come sweeping into our local candy stores and our supermarkets and replace all the dollars with some strange-looking new currency. She's got this in her head.
Yeah,
she's outlawing that.
She seems to have been completely confused by China's request on monetary policy and what the reserve dollar was going to be, what the basis of the reserve would be. I don't know where she's going with this. I don't understand where the confusion has come in, but there's a lot of confusion. She's introduced a resolution to make sure that we always use the U.S. dollar in this country, even though President Obama, Ben Bernanke, and Secretary Geithner have all said that they are opposed to having a one-world currency.
Well, not only that, but there was never, Matt, any discussion of changing American currency or giving it up the way British people gave up, rather the French gave up their franc for the euro. Nobody ever talked about giving up the dollar. We love our dollars. We love our currency. But she wants to pass a law in Congress to get it signed by the president, who she sees as a tyrant, by the way. I don't know why she thinks he'll ever sign this, to protect our currency. Last thought on Michelle Bachmann.
We got to get you straight with the Michelle.
This is a busy Michelle. We're right back. I think your thoughts have been completed already.